I continue to say that we live in one of the worst times imaginable right now, and things just keep on getting stranger. Just think about where we're at. We have an unelected billionaire staging a coup against our government, and then he shows up in the Oval Office for a press conference and just is answering questions like nothing ever happened. Reporters aren't really giving him much pushback at all. It was truly a sight to behold. And as we take a look at some of the clips from this interview, just keep in mind this. Elon Musk continues to describe all of these unelected bureaucrats that are somehow mooching off the government and making all of these decisions. But Elon Musk is an unelected billionaire who has become the unelected bureaucrat that he has been complaining about for years. This man is truly pathetic, and he has zero self-awareness, where he can't even understand that all irony is dead when you are sitting in the Oval Office answering questions and casting, blame and doubt onto unelected bureaucrats when you are the largest unelected bureaucrat of them all. So let's go ahead and kick things off by looking at this interview. Here we have Elon Musk accusing USAID workers for stealing from the government. Okay? This is absolutely wild. We'll go ahead and take a look, and then we will discuss. But if you do appreciate the work I do, please do remember to subscribe.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about $30 million?
Right.
Etc.
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it.
So just imagine what he is saying here. And my apologies, he wasn't talking about USAID specifically. He was talking about bureaucrats in general. But just think about what he is saying. All of these bureaucrats are somehow getting wealthy. They have a couple $100,000 salary, but they have net worths of multi-million. How does he even know that? Is he going to provide a shred of evidence for anybody that he's actually talking about? Since when was it in DOGE's purview to investigate individuals that work in the government? I just do not buy this story for a second. Why would Elon Musk know the net worth of different individuals who work in the government? And then to try to say it is because they are stealing from the taxpayer is disgusting. I am so sick of all of these people trying to make it out to seem like all of these government workers are just nefarious actors trying to take advantage of the American people, when in reality, the vast, vast majority of them signed up to serve their country. They show up to work every day to serve the American people. And then you have an unelected billionaire coming in, wreaking havoc on everything, and accusing them of being the bad actors here. It is absolutely disgraceful. Again, we are living in one of the strangest timelines of all time. Let's go ahead and move on. Here, Elon Musk is talking about the hostile takeover he is currently engaged in. One of the reporters asks him, well, what do you say to your critics?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
What?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We've won the House. We won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign, the president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, that people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
These people are complete idiots. Donald Trump does not have a mandate to go in and start breaking down entire federal agencies. He doesn't have a mandate to go break the law and shut down federal spending. But that is what they are doing. They do not have a mandate to do that. And lest they forget, Donald Trump did not get the majority of the vote. More people voted against Trump than they voted for him. Yes, he did win the popular vote. He won the Electoral College. He won the election for sure. But he does not have this huge mandate to start tearing down our federal government from the inside. And then to couch it in all of this democracy talk is just absolute bullshit. This is not democracy. Are you guys putting any thought at all into the other half of the country that didn't vote for Donald Trump? Is there any thought at all? Now, I understand that elections have consequences, and Donald Trump is definitely going to do things that I don't like. But in no shape or form did I think that he was going to come in and tear down the government like they are currently doing it. I mean, I maybe had some idea, but you get what I'm saying here. They don't have a mandate. They are breaking laws day in and day out. They're now starting to ignore court orders, and that is not what the American people signed up for. Let's go ahead and move on to him talking about policing himself for all of these conflicts of interest that he currently has.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are, in effect, policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the DOGE handle on X and to the DOGE website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the DOGE organization.
This is an absolutely insane answer. They have not been transparent. Why is it that when our Congress members go down to these federal buildings, they are locked out and they can't provide any oversight to what Elon and his goons are doing? Just because you post to Twitter every day doesn't mean you are being transparent with the American people. I would imagine even for somebody like me, I have no idea what the hell they are doing in our federal agencies, besides all of this reporting about different agencies just crumbling at the behest of DOGE. So these people are not being transparent. They are trying to lie to the American people and trying to pass it off as transparency just because they will signal to their greater goals as an organization. That is not transparency. They need to be giving themselves over to oversight from our elected officials. That is transparency, and they are currently not doing that. I had to show you this next clip because it is just so insane to me. He's called out for lying about that $50 million worth of condoms going to Gaza, but listen to how he tries to rationalize that lie.
Mr. Musk, you said on X that an example of the fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact-check this, apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas, actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about. And that is really an enormous number of condoms, if you think about it.
Is this dude that dumb? Okay, he says he's not batting 1,000 or nobody's going to bat 1,000. This dude is not even batting 100. He is spinning up conspiracy after conspiracy after conspiracy and trying to pawn it off as waste, fraud, and abuse. And then he's going to say, oh, well, I get things wrong and I should definitely be called out for that. But anytime he is called out, he goes on the attack to anybody who is trying to set him straight. He is another fragile egomaniac, or whatever the hell they call these people. He's got these delusions of grandeur, and he does not like being criticized. He is exactly like Donald Trump. And to say that we were sending $50 million worth of condoms, oh, well, it may have not have gone to Gaza, but it was going to Mozambique. That is not even true. He is lying to you again. It's always conspiracies with these people. Elon Musk, his brain has been rotted by the ecosystem that currently exists on the Twitter platform. That is all his feed is flooded with day in and day out. And then they try to pass these conspiracies off as some good work they're doing for our government. These people are absolutely pathetic. Let's go to move on. Elon Musk is asked whether or not USAID is a worthy cause.
USAID has been one of your main targets. Are you concerned at all that some of the cuts or that shutting that agency altogether may lead to diseases or other bigger problems starting in other countries that then come to the United States?
Yeah, so that's an interesting example. So that's something where we work closely with the State Department and Secretary Rubio. And we have, for example, turned on funding for Ebola prevention and for HIV prevention.
Left that, you said?
Yes, correct. And we are moving fast, so we will make mistakes, but we'll also fix the mistakes very quickly. So,
do you see that's a worthy cause, USAID?
I think that there are some worthy things, but overall, if you say what is the bang for the buck, I would say it was not very good. And there was far too much of what USAID was doing was influencing elections in ways that I think were dubious and do not stand the light of day.
Why are we allowing Elon Musk, an unelected billionaire, to determine whether or not USAID is a worthy cause? That is not up to him. That is not up to Donald Trump. This was an organization that was created by Congress, and therefore they do not have the power to just shut it down like they are trying to do. And in no world would I rely on Elon to try to make an informed decision about whether or not USAID is actually a worthy cause. Of course, USAID is a worthy cause. Is there problems with different programs? I'm sure you can find them. But on the whole, USAID has done amazing work around the world that buys goodwill for the American people. But Elon Musk, he gets to make the decision to just turn this off. Oh, and we have turned on the funding for AIDS and HIV and whatever else he said. But I don't want Elon Musk to be the one making those decisions. Again, this was an agency established by Congress. The American people benefit greatly from USAID. And he's just allowed to go in and tear it all down. Absolutely insane to me. Let's go ahead and look at this one last question where he's asked about whether his contracts with the federal government are going to cause any problems.
I just asked a follow-up to the Pentagon contracts. If you have received billions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon, and the president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense, is that
which we
a
definitely need
conflict
to
of
do and
interest?
are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value for money for the taxpayer, let me know, because every one of them was.
What a profoundly stupid thing to say. Oh, no, it's not going to cause any conflicts of interest because it's only my company filing for these contracts, not me personally. Are you fucking joking? In no other world would that answer be acceptable to anybody. And then to rationalize your contracts with the federal government and said, well, they are the best bang for the taxpayer's buck. Well, of course you're going to say that, douchebag. These people are pathetic. These are the people who are tearing down our federal government from the inside. These continuous press conferences from the White House are an exercise in propaganda. And now we have the unelected billionaire who is, been given all of this power to tear down our federal government, and he's standing in the Oval Office like nothing is going on. I don't think the American people signed up for this. This actual press conference was absolutely insane. I highly suggest you go watch the entire thing, because as the days go on, I just lose more and more respect for Elon. I don't think he's an intelligent person. I don't think he knows how our governments work. I don't think he knows how these agencies work. And instead, he's just going around with a sledgehammer and seeing what he can break. That is not intelligence. And in fact, he's going to hurt millions upon millions of Americans, and he could seem to care less. So I will leave it there for now. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We have to build something here on the left that can adequately push back against the right-wing media ecosystem that fills Elon Musk's brain full of shit. So if you do appreciate the work I do, please do remember to subscribe. If you want to see how Elon Musk's popularity is just falling off a cliff as he becomes the face of this Trump administration, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.